Hey, my name is Elsa Ray. I live full-time in this 13-foot off-grid Scamp trailer. I have dozens of videos on how I live, where I travel, what I eat, and my bullet journal is a detailed record of all of it. Every location, person who's visited, memories, food log, and even my monthly cycle. In this video, I'm going to take you through everything and show you what I've learned through all of this self-accumulated data. But first, I'm going to walk you through my standard spread layout. To me, a bullet journal is basically just a customized planner, and I just created October, so I'm going to take you through it. So here's my bullet journal, and this is my October monthly spread layout. I only have a few tools that I use for my bullet journal. I've got this little ruler, I have a few different thicknesses of pens, and lately I only use black. If I make my bullet journal too complicated, I won't ever do it. It used to be me pulling out all kinds of different markers and pens to do my bullet journal every night, and that just kind of stressed me out. So switched to only black, even more kind of minimal than I used to, and this just helps me take care of all the different things that I'm trying to track every day super quickly in the evenings or in the mornings. In the beginning of the book, I've got this yearly calendar that I never ended up really using, and I'm not going to do it the same in my next bullet journal, but I do keep it so that I know exactly what the dates are when I'm making my new monthly spreads. I also have a birthday page that I keep back there. I'm going to be doing this a little bit differently next bullet journal as well. But I like to be able to see what days of the month I've got friends and family's birthdays, and I just note that by a little mark in the corner. I've been meaning to do this every month, but a lot of months I forget, to add a photo of the month. I've got this little printer that prints sticky photos, and I remembered to do it this month, so that's good. I like to keep a gratitude page right next to my main monthly calendar, and I think this is a very, very important practice for me to wake up thinking about the things that I'm grateful for and to go to bed thinking about the things that I'm grateful for. It's totally shifted my mental state. Even during the day, I'm thinking about what gratitude I'm going to be writing on my gratitude page later in the evening. And I think that's just huge. On the next page, I always have a memories tab. I like to just write a line of memories that day because sometimes I don't write in my daily journal, so this helps me be able to go back and see exactly what was happening that day. And then on the next side, I have it always changes based on what I'm needing that month. This month I wanted to focus more on self-love. One time I did loves for Baron, one time I did successes. It's just really whatever I need and want to focus on that month. And then on this page I've got my trackers. I do my tracker pretty much the same every month, and that's so that I can go and flip through and compare each month side by side. I track the foods that I eat, not super detailed, like not exactly what I'm eating, but things like dairy, meat, coffee, vitamins that I'm taking, meditation, exercise. I am also tracking my intermittent fasting and my sleep, stress, and mood. And I'll go into these things a little bit more in just a bit. I've changed my weekly layout quite a bit over the last several months, but this is kind of the main way that I like to have it. This month there were 5 weeks in the month. I like to usually kind of fit 4 on this page for more room, but there were 5 this month. And I like this because living in the Scamp, I don't exactly have huge daily plans. There are notes that I like to take of what's going on, what I need to get done that day, what I need to get done in a couple days, but having giant weekly spreads just felt like a waste of space. And in this manner, I can see the whole month at one time, what I was doing, what I need to do, and it works really well for me. So this is my bullet journal. It's a Dingbats bullet journal. They focus on conserving water in the process of making these, so kind of eco-friendly. I'm going to walk you through my tracking pages and kind of tell you some of the cool things that I've learned throughout. So first is my fertility awareness method page. This is my menstrual cycle tracking. I began tracking my cycles for a few reasons. I have had some period issues since I got off birth control a few years ago. I'm spotting before every period, so I'm trying to kind of figure out what's going on with my hormones, and you can do that really easily by taking your body temperature every single morning. The first half of your cycle is called your follicular phase. This starts on the first day of your period and goes until ovulation. And that's about this time zone. Your temperatures are supposed to be a lot lower here than they are in your luteal phase. Your luteal phase happens from ovulation until the day that you start your period. The low temperatures are when estrogen is naturally high, and the higher temperatures are when progesterone is supposed to be high. This was my very first fertility awareness method tracking page, and what I learned very quickly was that during my follicular phase, my temperatures were spiking all over the place, and during my luteal phase, my temperatures were a lot lower. So this indicated that I may have estrogen dominance, I may have low progesterone, and I could gather all of that based on my basal body temperatures. Since then, I've done a good amount of work, and seemingly my hormones have kind of mellowed out, which is super cool. And I think that has to do with some diet changes and things I'll talk about in just a moment. Another reason I started doing the fertility awareness method is because it helps you know when you are fertile. Women, and I didn't know this for most of my life, are only fertile during a small window of time every month. Men are fertile all the time until they die, but women only have a slight window to become pregnant. By knowing how the fertility awareness method works, I know based on the signs of my body and my temperature spikes around the area that I'm ovulating, and I'm able to tell exactly when my period is going to be coming based on my temperatures. It is fascinating. I feel like I've been able to really get to know my body and my menstrual cycle, which half of us go through on the planet. It's fascinating. Super cool. I definitely recommend, and I'm going to leave some book references in the description below if you want to check this out. And this is my other tracking page. Every single day I keep track of the foods that I eat, my exercise, any vitamins or supplements that I'm taking, meditation, intermittent fasting I've been doing in the last several months, my sleep, stress, and mood. And this has been so cool to take a look at side by side. I'll show you why. Each month I am tracking what I put into my body. And this is really cool because I can see exactly what I'm putting into my body. I started doing this because I wanted to be aware of how often I was eating things like dairy and meat and soy, and what was affecting my body in different ways when I would cut it out. I could tell early on that on the days that I exercised, I had a spike in my mood. I also had a spike in my sleep, and those are definitely correlated. And from that information, I began working out a lot more, leading to months where my stress was very low, my mood was very high. Even here, relatively low and very high. Something that I was also doing for my mood is intermittent fasting. This is another thing that I'll let you do your own research on because there's a lot of information about it. But it's basically eating within a 14 to 16 hour window every day, and outside of that, not eating. This just gives my gut a chance to have a break. So I'm not eating first thing in the morning, I'm not eating last thing at night. I usually have a 14-ish hour window. I will start eating by 10 or 11 in the morning, and I'll stop eating by 7 or 8. I really quick want to take you through these charts and what I have learned through these. I kind of promised this in my first bullet journal video. So I keep all of these in the same section of each page every month. And this is so that I can look at them side by side and compare and see what was going on in my sleep and my mood and stress that month. Maybe I can look down and see what foods I was eating, what my activity level was. And I also have notes within the calendar sections of my bullet journal where I write down memories, what was going on, so I know everything that was happening at that time. This month I was doing some traveling to Puerto Rico. We were getting very little sleep because it was a really fun trip. So my mood started kind of going down, staying up though because I'm traveling with my best friends. My stress was high though. Flying always kind of freaks me out. Then toward the end of the month we got back into the scamp before I left for Guatemala, which a lot of you know is when I got super sick. This has never happened where I go from a 10 to a 0. This month I was so sick with my temperature spiking all over the place on my fertility awareness method chart that I didn't even have a period this month. That's never happened in my life. This was absolutely insane. And the next month really was no better. I was so focused on healing that I just would take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It was a really intense period of trying to make myself better. I was tracking more food than ever. I have food logs even of exactly what I was eating at that time. Every single thing that I put into my body, I was tracking so that I could take it to a doctor and have them fix me. But I ended up kind of just fixing myself. And the month after that, when I was finally healthy, I was just so happy to be alive. I was out in the sun. We were in Utah. My stress was so low. I was getting good sleep. I was exercising and really taking very good care of myself. At this time, I was even traveling, but I still just felt really calm and clear, and this could be a reflection of my insanely clean diet that I was eating when I was sick. So that was a really interesting thing to note. Does my future mood stability, is that affected by the food that I'm eating months prior? And as I said before, this was around the time that I started intermittent fasting. I just wanted to, I don't know, help out my hormones, help out my mood, my sleep. I'd heard a lot of things. I've never done a solid ketogenic diet, but this is something that kind of seemed a little bit, it aligned more with my body, just doing a natural flow of eating. And as I began doing that, I noticed changes in my mood, which of course could be affected by everything that I'm eating, everything that I'm doing. But it was just an interesting correlation between the start of my intermittent fasting and my high mood, high sleep, low stress. This is also the time that I really became kind of gung-ho about exercising, getting ready for this Appalachian Trail hike that I just went on, that I'm gonna have a video on super soon. It's a big video. This was last month. It was the month of the hike. Everything was crazy. I had family in town. Not an ideal routine happening at all any day of this month. And now we're at a fresh and clean October. Today, I think it's the first day of October. I don't know when this will go live, but I just love these fresh, clean pages. And that's about it for my bullet journal. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions on my bullet journal or how I bullet journal, please leave them in the comments below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.